All right, looks like everybody is live. We've got you right now on Facebook Live. Hi there, how you doing? Also on Twitter and on our YouTube Live channel. So glad to have everybody hanging out on an either or Thursday. Some of you have already weighed in on the website, theraiderland.com. Glad you did. We're talking about Burt Reynolds movies today, remaking Burt Reynolds movies, either Cannonball Run or Smokey and the Bandit. If you had to remake one of those movies, which one would you remake and why? Texas Tech and Big 12 Media Days. We'll get some of your thoughts on that. Joey McGuire, here in a nutshell. Joey McGuire, great job. Didn't really say anything. That's exactly what you want your coach to do if you're an AD, if you're the media relations director. You don't want your coach really to make any noise at Big 12 Media Days. He did a good job today. But Don Williams is on the case talking about the new turf, and what might be at midfield, and Tech not ready to say what's going to be at midfield. Could it be the legit, real, and only Double T is coming back? I don't know. Michael's watching. Donald, Val, JC, Damon, the talking box is on. Craig, the talking box is on. You guys on Twitter and YouTube, you text into the show 806-772-0197. Look at that. Andy even getting in early today. All right, let's get this thing rolling in 3, 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. Everything we do, we archive there. You start the day there answering the question of the day, which of you already did today. It's theraiderland.com. We're coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. Another day over 100 degrees. I think we topped out around 106. It was nice today. Isn't it crazy? That's a notable difference between like 105 and 110. I don't know where the cutoff is, but it's noticeable. On the difference there. If your area is not Arctic, you need to call the Bear, locally owned and operated, veteran owned and operated. My man Shane, give them a holler, callthebear.com. Keep that on your phone in case you ever need them in an emergency. Also brought to you by Boot City, one money saving mile outside the West Loop on 19th Street. They're featuring in one of, I think it's in the Parade of Homes. It's on our Facebook page, on their Facebook page for Boot City. They did like a closet, a guy's closet where it's got all the cool stuff in it. Many things in that closet I need in my closet. Boot City. That's all I'm saying. I got a birthday coming up. Hi there. How's everybody doing? Also brought to you by our friends in Red River, Calhoun Realty. If you've been thinking about maybe purchasing a vacation home, a condo, a cabin, whatever, that you're looking for something in the Red River area, Calhoun Realty's been there for a long time. They'll steer you in the right directions. They know, obviously, the market. Heck, Linda Calhoun, she happens to be the mayor of Red River. So if you are thinking about doing something like that, you need to go check out their website, Calhoun Realty. Tell them we said hello. Hi there, Craig. Hi there, Damon. I'll take the 106 over a 75-degree dew point. Yeah, as long as it's a dry heat. Yesterday, we actually had a little bit of actual humidity, it seemed like, with it. All right, either or Thursday. Every Thursday, we ask you tough questions. 2 questions to do on the website. 1, what do you consider harder, hitting a major league pitching or being an elite NFL quarterback? Which is the harder job? Which one and why? So it's basically Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Young, right? It's hitting a major league slider. It's running an NFL offense. What do you think is the harder skill set? Then we also ask you, we give you 2 great Burt Reynolds movies. If you had to remake one, which one would you remake? Either Smokey and the Bandit, put the evidence in the car. I said put the evidence in the car. Or Cannonball Run, the Cannonball Run, which a lot of people didn't realize was an actual thing in the 1970s. That was a legit deal. There was really a Cannonball Run race. There's a documentary, if you can find it on one of your services, that documents one of the, I think it was one in either late 70s or early 80s. The real thing. I saw Cannonball Run in the theater probably 4 times in one day. Me and my buddy Jeff, we went to the early show and we just never left. It was that good. Chocolate Monk. Have you watched the new Netflix? Okay. You lost me at Netflix. I think we have it here at the house. No, I don't watch stuff on Netflix. So, no, I have not watched the new Netflix series, Quarterback with Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, I've heard it's pretty interesting. Brain power of the quarterback wins. Gonna barbecue your Some molasses. So which one do you remake and why? The Cannonball Run or Smokey and the Bandit? Bonus points if you give me who would be starring in these movies today if you remade it. Several years ago, who was it? It was Mobile One Oil did a remake with Tony Stewart and several people. It was called a series of ads. Smoke is the Bandit, and it was Tony Stewart playing the role of Burt Reynolds. It's pretty good. Hi there, Lori. Glad you're out there. Text in 806-772-0197 if you're watching on Twitter Live and on the YouTube channel. That's how we see your comments. We use we're live on 3 different platforms, so we can only pretty much see the Facebook Live comments in real time. That's why we utilize the text line. Makes it easy so you can text in like Chris in Fort Worth. What 5 things would you highlight from the show this past week to fill in someone who may have been on vacation? Thanks, Chris. I don't remember yesterday, let alone all week long. I mean, we talked Rangers, we talked Major League Baseball, Big 12, Brett Yormark, media days, logos on uniforms. What would Tech command? Could you get $1 million a year for an ad on Tech sleeves? I don't know. We talked about a lot of stuff. If you guys remember what we talked about, you guys can fire away. Let Chris know. I don't even remember yesterday. Yeah, we talked about MASH. Hometowns for MASH, characters, random TV trivia. Craig, I assume, talking about Mahomes. It features his name being revealed on the stadium. The double T is seen a lot in the series. Good. It should be. There's no way that I would remake either of those movies. You have to. It's either or Thursday. That's the choice. Because they would screw them up. And they would try to make them PC, probably. But that's the challenge. You got to remake one or the other. Which one would? To me, it's an easy choice on which one to remake. We'll see which one you guys go with. Big 12 Media Days. Joey McGuire didn't really say anything. Shocking news. He really likes this team. Likes the personnel. Fastest recruiting class in the country. You can look it up. Went for it on 4th down a lot last year, didn't you, Coach? Yep. Going to do it again this year. Work with Champion Analytics, meet with them every Thursday. We go over stuff, and hey, we're a gambling team. We're going to go for it. Even though really anymore, it's not really gambling the way it used to be considered gambling going forward in certain situations on 4th down. The dreaded analytics discussion, which most people, they misuse the term analytics. But anyhow, like a lot of the personnel, like the quarterbacks. Got a lot of quarterbacks, like the quarterbacks. Hey, it was media day. He made probably more news for the jacket he had, which had on the inner line a very cool black, and it had pirate skull and crossbones and the swords. And is it homage or homage? I've always said homage in a tribute to Mike Leach. They need to auction off that jacket for sure and donate that money to some sort of charity or something along those lines. Really cool. So what are we trying to get across the country to remake Smokey and the Bandit? I don't know. Weed now? Or it's legal or not legal? Shiner Bock isn't everywhere. Maybe instead of Coors, full-bodied banquet beer, maybe it'd be Shiner Bock at this point. I don't think it's legal everywhere. I shouldn't say legal. I should say distributed. Distributed is probably the better word. And then Don Williams in his Twitter feed today talking about Tech not ready to reveal what the new turf is going to look like. They're putting that in right now. Mid-August, it'll be ready. They'll get some workouts in on the new turf. About $900,000 to $1 million on that portion of the field redo. They had to rip the other stuff out to do the construction. It was probably due for new turf anyways. Are we going to see the real double T? Would we get the Mask Rider logo with the double T back, a la the early mid-'70s in the original AstroTurf from Monsanto, which I have a piece of that from back in the day. I played on the 2nd gen, not the 1st gen turf there at Jones Stadium. Let's see. Damon says on the remakes, I'd remake Cannonball Run because I love Smokey and the Bandit too much to screw it up. I'm kind of with you on that. Smokey and the Bandit is so identified with Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, Jerry Reed, and Sheriff Buford T. Justice that it would be really hard to redo that. But the ensemble nature of the Cannonball Run would lend itself much more, even though Hollywood sucks right now and everybody's apparently on strike. I just heard about this today. I'm this days old that I found out that apparently there's like some big strike in Hollywood, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Yeah, the old school double T, the Masked Rider double T logo. Put it at midfield with a little white circle around it. You go to our Facebook page for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, the cover photo or whatever, that's a postcard from the mid-'70s of Jones Stadium. It has that logo. It has the going band from Raiderland, 350 members strong, maybe close to 400, spelling out Tech. I don't know how many members they go to now, not very many. Hell, Monterey used to have a 300-plus member band. Ain't nobody doing band anymore. Will they give us the real logo? I don't know. They should. Will they do it? I've told Dr. Skuvinek to his face, man to man, that if you want to go down in history, and this would be the time to do it in early August, is go to the podium, stand there with Kirby Hocutt, and announce that the original Double T is back, that's the official logo. You'll still see the 3D here and there and some other stuff, but the logo for Texas Tech is the real legit Double T. And you will go down in Tech history and you will be beloved. You can text in 806-772-0197. That's how we see your comments if you are joining us tonight on Twitter Live and on YouTube. If you're not following the YouTube channel, you need to. We're going to start utilizing that for a lot of deep cut interviews, different podcasts aside from this live broadcast. So you need to, even if you watch the daily broadcast on Facebook Live or Twitter, you need to subscribe to Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube for all that stuff. You're going to want it. McGuire positive or Leach create creativity. Not really sure what we're getting at there. Yeah. Hey, Kerry. Glad you're watching. I thought about doing some Texas Rangers tonight. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I'm just kind of not really there. We get back into the second half. You know, where you think the Rangers will end up. Okay, will they come back? Will they win the division? Will they finish second wild card team? Will they miss the playoffs entirely? I lean, by the way, that they may miss the playoffs entirely. Andy, black helmets, the original Double T, absolutely. You can go you can stripes on the helmets or no stripes. I think the helmet looks better actually with no stripes. That's just me, but I can live with the stripes as long as we get the real Double T back. God, it pops so good. The real Double T on the helmet is just so good. Andy am I the only one that likes the 3D Double T? Yes, you are. It's entirely possible you are the only person who does. The legit Double T's above the Jumbotron, both inside and outside. Please, yeah, give me more. Can't have too many Double T's there in the state. Everywhere you look, you should not be able to turn your head and not see a Double T. Joey McGuire, other comments today. Okay. Got the typewritten transcript. No stripes on the helmet, says Ben. Yeah, I think it looks the 60s. You know, they didn't put the stripes on the helmet till the 70s. They ran the stripes through the 70s into the 80s. Spike took the stripes off in the early 90s. Were you playing when they took the stripes off? Was that like 90, 91, 92? I'm trying to remember, Ben, the first year that they took those stripes back off. They had the stripes off the black helmet for the rest of the decade. Looked really good. Have they ever said where the old Double T scoreboard is going? No. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was around 91 or 92, somewhere in through there that they did that. Talking about 18 starters back. Yeah. About Tyler Shuck, McGuire pointing out once again, this is a big reason why a lot of people think he's going to have some good development. This will be the first time in his college career that he's had the same offensive coordinator back-to-back. If you're looking for a name to be high on, Miles Cole again, the heir apparent up front. I got to applaud Joey McGuire. He speaks effortlessly. He speaks energetically, and he does a great job of giving you some coach speak without really saying anything, but while telling you things, while explaining things. It's a good combination. Like the going for it on fourth down and just openly talking about, hey, we are one of the many, I think hundreds now, of organizations that work with Champion Analytics. They scout you, they scout your opponents, they scout your tendencies, they work with you on the the whole go for it, don't go for it. But it's not just that. It's run pass tendencies, it's formation tendencies, it's field goal, it is a myriad of things. That's why I hate it when people just lump in the whole analytics thing. Yeah, solid black helmet, just the double T. And I get torn. I had one of the helmets that had the red face mask on it. The gray face mask, though, looks really good with it, too. Thankfully, Texas Tech is blessed with a great color combination that, while not impossible to screw up, as we have seen over the years, is hard to screw up if you do it right. Yeah, we'll see what the midfield logo looks like. Oh, it would be so cool if it were the old Mask Rider and Double T logo combined. That would be just so awesome. They won't do it, but man, it would be cool. Either Thursday, your choice. Either remake Smoking the Bandit or remake the Cannonball Run. Which one do you remake and why? You guys probably tell I lean towards Cannonball Run. Smoking the Bandit's too identifiable with 4 people. Cannonball Run's ensemble, you can get a bunch of people there. Yeah, dark eye guards. You talk about the visor there, Andy? With the black, you can't wear the dark visor anymore. That has been outlawed by the NCAA. Can't wear the Darth Vader visors, which were all in vogue there in the 90s and 2000s there. I would have hated that. I would have hated a visor of any type. One, I'm kind of claustrophobic. 2, I don't want anything impairing my vision. Now, a lot of DBs liked it. Here's why they liked it. Quarterback can't see your eyes. There was one reason why they said, yeah, we're getting rid of the visor here, is that you wanted to be able to see the defender's eyes. You know, easy way to hide where you're looking, what you're looking at. Shane jumping in now. Another good Red Raider out there. CJ is back. I thought CJ was already in. And you guys on Twitter Live and on YouTube, you guys can join us via the text line, just like the radio show, days of old, 806-772-0197 for you to text in your questions, comments, and anything else. I don't know, man. We're talking about Burt Reynolds movies. Which ones to read? We got a lot of stuff. We're dealing with a lot of stuff, Shane. What may be the new midfield logo for Jones Stadium? Joey McGuire doing a fine job of saying a few things, but not really saying anything at Big 12 Media Day, which is exactly what you should do. Don't give them anything. At least wait until August 3rd and do it at the local media day so we get the better sound, we get the more interesting stuff. I'll give the assemblage of media, I give them a solid B on the questions. Questions were pretty good, I thought, all the way. There was an interesting discussion. Is this the last question during the part before the breakout? Yeah. I'll actually read this one. Yeah, look good in the jacket. The Mike Leach tribute on the inner liner. I'm going to give you this one here. One of the last questions. Coach McGuire, thing I'm impressed with the most is how much you care about the 806 athlete. I don't know who asked the question. It's an oddly worded. I know you can recruit nationally, but talk about the strong athletes and being able to recruit locally. Okay, I'm going to do this is caller clinic right here that we used to do this on the radio show. Don't ever ask questions and say, talk about. If you want somebody to talk about, ask the question. But don't say, talk about something. The logo on the field will be the Centennial logo. I hope it's not. I really don't like the Centennial logo. That's an academic thing. I don't know. I hope it's not the Centennial logo. Now, if they want to put that somewhere else on the field, you know, next to Cody Campbell's name or something, whatever, but I don't want that at midfield. Joe McGuire's response to the question, daylight off the humidity bandwagon. No. This was one of the things in my interview we talked about. You're going to not get everybody, but you cannot allow a Power 5 football player that grew up knowing football as what Texas Tech does and wearing the red and black and allow them to go somewhere else. So we feel like we did a great job with the guys we signed this last year. We signed a number of local football players from Lubbock, but also in the West Texas area, Wichita Falls area. We recruit West Texas as its own state. Every one of my coaches has a West Texas area. And I think it's extremely important to make sure those guys that grew up dreaming of playing in the red and black, that's what they do. We're going to continue to do that. I think you're going to see some really good football players come out of the area. It's great for our fan base. It's great for those guys to have passion and play for Tech. We have at least two former Red Raider football players, I think, that are in the audience right now watching, maybe more. Lady Raider jumping in right there as well, too. And then we've got James, who did not play football at Texas Tech. You win West Texas first. If there are two Division I players in West Texas in a year, you get both of them. And if it's a borderline player between somebody making your roster from West Texas or the Metroplex, you take West Texas because you're going to build an affinity, and that kid, that player may have a teammate who's a year or two behind, or a brother, or a cousin, or a friend, that you build a relationship with them and you get them. You take West Texans first. Again, you can't do a whole roster of West Texans, but you win West Texas first. It'll be a good program if you do that in every program. Wes Kitley does it in track. Wes Kitley does it in track. And you don't want the state of Texas logo, want A&M to think they're still the only place on earth. Okay, here's why you don't have to have the state of Texas logo. You're Texas Tech. People can figure out you're from Texas. You don't need the state of Texas there to remind people that Texas Tech is in Texas. I hate seeing the state of Texas logo that everybody, you know who did that first in the state, who incorporated it into their logo, their actual logo? Stephen F. Austin. SFA, and here's why. They don't have anything about Texas in their name. And a lot of people around the country have no idea who Stephen F. Austin is. So SFA, when they were having their rise under, what was it? Was it Coach Parker? Was it Dennis Parker in the 90s? Who was it that left Marshall and went to Stephen F. Austin? Dang it. Some of my 90s guys may remember. Anyways, that was what they did to brand themselves as a Texas school, because they didn't have anything Texas in the school name, and they were a national power, D2. Yeah, Marshall did pretty good, but you also had two starters on the national championship team, one from the Metroplex and one from Star, Wyoming. Shout out Cynthia Klinger. Childress to El Paso, San Angelo, Guyman, Tech Country. Lady Raiders won the national championship with West Texas ladies. Yes, they did. With some help from other places. It's a shame other states don't teach Texas history. I think they should. I think every state should have to teach Texas history, at least for a semester, a minimum of 6 weeks maybe, but they really should. Damon going with the Mask Rider Double T logo, throwback 1975. Let's do it. Let's make it look good. It was good enough for Rodney Allison, Dan Irons, Thomas Howard. It was good enough for those guys. It was good enough for Kenneth Wallace. 4th grade and 7th grade, yeah. No matter where you live. See, that's why I can't become president of the United States. That, and of course, spending time in a Mexican prison that we don't talk about, because I mandate from a federal law, if you want federal funding, you have to teach Texas history, no matter what state you're in. Alan, it's going to be a crane with a double T. Here's to cranes. What was it? Spike went down to A&M one year, and it was when it seemed like they were always building something. And Spike goes, oh, yeah, they lead the conference in cranes down there in College Station. They got more cranes than they got people. Rodney Allison is still your hero. Yeah. He played a lot of different roles at Texas Tech. I would say he is the football version of Gerald Myers. From a player. People forget he was a coach, the impact that he has had with the Double T Association and everything else. Pretty cool. Coach Wallace was Mr. History. Well, I think you meant my history teacher at Cornell Recipes. Yeah, Coach passed away a couple of years ago. Shane, back in the day, local media made the local stand athletes who stayed at Tech front page news. Yeah. Yes, they did. Is Joey ever going to climb the crane? Already did. Did it, what, a couple of weeks ago? He did it after his daughter got all married up and everything, because his wife and his daughter said, you can do it, but you can't do it until after the wedding, because if you die climbing the crane, the wedding would be really awkward for everybody involved, you know. So he waited, and then when they did it, that told me that Tech has an ungodly amount of insurance policy on him. They got really, and the lawyers were sick that day, and they hid him in a small room, and they allowed him to do that. I still can't believe they did that. All right, a few more minutes left. We're either or Thursday. Every Thursday, we give you an either or question. You can remake one of these two movies. You have to remake one of these two movies. Which one do you remake? Either Smokey and the Bandit or the Cannonball Run. I'm going Cannonball Run. We can get 50 people from Hollywood and do that. And then everybody who was in it that's still alive could be in it again, which I think is Terry Bradshaw. I think that's about it. Seriously. Is Dom DeLuise still with? He died, didn't he? Dom DeLuise died. I have a really bad habit. I did this on the show with Rob Bro all the time. I would try to kill off somebody who wasn't quite dead. I thought he was dead. Joey didn't get permission. He said, let's go. Oh, James, he got permission. So much he got permission. From his wife, from his daughter. He got permission. Remake Smokey and the Bandit with Chris Pratt. Who's Chris Pratt? Is that an actor? Or is he an athlete? I think good. Joey said, heck with legal, I'm climbing. No. He likes that $1 million job he's got. See if we're missing anything here. Not today, maybe some tomorrow. How about the ACC and the CW channel partnering up? 50 ACC basketball and football games will be sublet from Raycom, which was having distribution problems, which tells you about Raycom right now, onto CW network in that footprint. So they get some of that. Meanwhile, the Pac-12 still waiting. Pac-12 still waiting on anything and something, but ain't gonna be the CW probably now. If there was only a device that we could look that stuff up, you guys can do it. I'm busy. I got multiple screens going. I got stuff happening. I'm monitoring, the text line and the text messages, 806-772-0197 as you text in on the program on Twitter Live, YouTube. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel too, because we're going to have stuff uniquely there. So you're going to want to be able to, just go, oh, wow, they've got a new deal going there. We need that there. You need that. You need the YouTube channel in your life. So with that going on today, the jacket. We kind of got everything. CW got a deal done with the ACC faster because the Pac-12 requires environmental studies for each TV tuning in. This is why Alan Corbin needs to write more columns. If you would like to sponsor Alan Corbin and his column writing, please let us know. TheRaiderland.com. We need more of that. You taking on the role of Jackie Gleason. You'd have to put on some weight. I mean that as a compliment. You have to put on some weight. It may be too tall. Other than that, dead ringer. Dead ringer. Let's see if we missed anything else. Double check on this. I get a little paranoid during this portion of the program when I start clicking on things and I never know what exactly is taking place or happening. Go to the Twitter feed and see what we've missed there. Have we missed anything on Twitter last few minutes? Got that. Yes. Okay, there we go. Looks like we got everything we need. That's a Diablo. Diablo sandwich. And a Dr. Pepper to go. I'm in a damn hurry. You, Mr. Sheriff. Mr. Sheriff. Mr. Sheriff. Thank you, nice lady. Yeah, Diablo sandwich. All right, we got to say goodbye first to the wonderful people who watch on Twitter and YouTube. They kind of get in just a little bit early. And they, every day in the broadcast, question mark, not yet, or in broadcast. I hit in broadcast because I want to end the broadcast. Would make a great Jerry Reed. Thank you. In the broadcast. All right. We're in.